What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, as you can imagine, and we're monitoring the visit of our boy Al Kademi here in the United States. I've been watching a lot of going ons between the United States and Iraq while they're here. So I told you the information is going to be coming fast and furious, and it was my beliefs that when Al Kademi came to visit, you would see a lot of agreements. You know Trump, he's always thinking business. I figured they'd have some trade agreements probably already ironed out, or more likely, I said, a lot of memorandums of understanding. And sure enough, there are tons of memorandums of understanding, which is good because we want these outside companies to come into Iraq and start bringing new business in there. New, invest in Iraq is what we're looking for, okay? So, again, just a quick reminder. Let's get the unpleasantries out of the way. So, if you think about buying precious metals, please give Money Metals Exchange some consideration. We see that there's a dip right now, so right now is a good time to buy. I told you these will be happening on and off, so you're going to see it go up, see it go down. So don't panic, don't be emotional, but then buy on the dip. The link for Money Metals is in the description. If you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free ½ ounce of silver. We have Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. And here we talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. And over here, we have the hidden things in front of your eyes. We talk about NESARA, Gesara, politics, current events. All right, so do the politics stuff over here. Both groups are free to join. All right, the links will all be in the description. Okay, so some of you guys brought some stuff to my attention about what is the priority of Iraq, and that other people are saying other things. Okay, look, I get it. There are plenty of people out there making YouTube videos about what's going on with Iraq. Right, I get that. So you have to take all of this with a grain of salt, and that includes me. See, this is why I don't talk about things that I can't prove. And this is why when I read the articles, I leave the links in the description so you guys can go see what I'm talking about. Because there are gurus out there that, like last July, one guru said, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The rate change is going to happen this weekend. And then it didn't happen. But you know what I mean? It's misleading. We've also had one of those gurus out there that said that God was talking to him, and that when the ISX and the auctions opened up, that there would be a rate change. We've had that type of thing happen. You know what I mean? So you got to be very careful about who you're listening to, okay? We have this other guru swearing that he's using a gematria, you know what I mean? And if they're telling him things. So you got to be careful with that. And then we have another guru out there using a magic 8-ball. Okay? So the point being, look, listen to all of it, but just take everything with a grain of salt, man. That's all. The best anybody could do is take an educational guess. So I told you that the sovereignty was one of, if not the most important thing for Iraq. I showed you several articles about it, stressing it in there. And then, every now and then you get a guru out there who say, no, the sovereignty is not that important. They already have their sovereignty already. No, they don't. They don't. Okay, you got to understand, first of all, what sovereignty is. Supreme power or authority. The authority of a state to govern itself and another state, a self-governing state. Iraq is under the watchful eye of the United Nations. Okay? That's why you see articles like this from June 20th, 2020. Iraq is on a path to regain its stolen sovereignty. That's weird that says that. And then you got these, I read tons of articles saying that the goal for Al-Kademi on his visit is the restoration of the sovereignty. Okay, so this article, this came out on the 17th. The turnout of the American voters and his election to Trump depends mainly on Al-Kademi's visit to Iraq. Look right here. Alberdaria, however you say his name, said in a statement followed by that Al-Kademi consulted with the leaders of the blocs on the axis of his visit to America, and everyone assured that the sovereignty is the main focus of their visit. That is the main. It has to be. Okay, we need these restrictions removed off of them so they can start doing business on a more international level. Okay? So when you hear people say stuff like that, look, I get it. People say different things. That's okay. Listen to other people. This way you got a variety. Okay, but be careful about what they're saying. Updates. Here we go. So there's been a lot happening. So Moochie's out there. We had a productive meeting with the Iraq Minister Alawi, Ambassador Yazin. I look forward to working together to advance the economical security and stability. Yes, we also look for that. Good meeting with the Iraq Prime Minister Al-Kadhimi. We discussed the U.S.-Iraq strategic dialogue and the efforts to secure more stable and a prosperous future for Iraq. So do I. So meanwhile, while this is going on, of course, the Popular Mobilization Force, the explosion hits an armory of the Popular Mobilization Force in Baghdad. So it's near an armory there. Okay, so the Popular Mobilization Force announced that there had been an explosion in a warehouse of one of its HTS formations without causing any casualties, which is good. Okay, so they'll do an investigation and see who's behind this. The Speaker of Parliament and the President of the Republic confirmed early elections, which we knew about this, but now they're just saying, look, we support it as well. This is good. So the Parliamentary Speaker, Halabasi, met with the President today. During the meeting, they discussed political and security and service conditions, as well as health developments of the Rona and ways to reduce the Rona from spreading, pretty much. So, yeah, look, they went over, this is, it's a semi-long article. But anyways, just going over what needs to be done, what they need to do to be stable and secure and transparent for the up-and-coming election, and that the Barzani supports this. So, Washington calls on Baghdad to dismantle the militias. Pompeo confirmed the armed groups that are not under the full control of the Prime Minister have impeded the progress of relations between the two countries, promising to provide support to Iraq's security in order to reduce the power of the militia. Again, if you don't control your own militia or military, you're not very sovereign now, are you? Pompeo considers the armed factions as an obstacle to the development of security of Iraq. You have to be a secure nation. America announces additional humanitarian aid worth $204 million to Iraq. This is good. The United States urged Iraq on Wednesday to dismantle all armed groups on its soil on the eve of Iraq Prime Minister visiting meeting with Donald Trump at the White House. The U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said in a press conference with the Iraqi counterpart, who's saying in Washington that armed groups that are not under the full control of the Prime Minister have impeded our progress. A local police should replace these groups as soon as possible. Okay, so good. This is what we're looking for. Look, I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that something will be announced in regards to the sovereignty there. But here's what I really want. If not, then what I'm hoping is a very clear layout of what needs to be done, because that helps us be able to monitor this. Okay. So look, we're offering to go over to help disarm them. We have the ability to do so, and we are offering. So it says, anyways, but the fate of about 5,000 American soldiers deployed in Iraq since the war against the Islamic extremist group is supposed to be discussed Thursday. So whether or not they are removed, we want them removed. Iraq has to stand on their own. Again, if we're trying to reinstate our sovereignty, you have to be able to govern your own country. You have to be able to protect your own people. Okay? You have to be able to control your own armies. That's all part of it. What good is lifting it if they're going to turn around and fall, again, victim to ISIS or armed groups or Iran all over again? Then we're just back to square one. Okay, so do this right. Look, I said this earlier. Look, don't get me wrong. I do want the rate change to happen. Who doesn't? We would benefit from it financially. But right now, man, there's people suffering. They're suffering in Iraq, just like I said about Africa. All right. As much as we want these currencies to change so that we can benefit from it, for me, the people suffering in these two countries is ridiculous. They have two of the wealthiest nations, and this is the crap they got to go through. I mean, I bitch about mine all the time here. I mean, you hear me complain about the Democrats all the time. But here's the thing. It's nothing compared to what these people are going through. But we have that to look forward to if Biden does get in office. Okay, so just watch out for that. Anyways, it goes on to explain, again, all the different things. Iran complaining about Soleimani, the whole 9 yards. making sure that they're independent. There has been some memorandums of understanding that talks about it here a little bit, but we'll go down more because there is more. Al-Qademi and bin Solomon discuss rebalancing the global oil markets. So this is the Saudi prince spoke with Al-Qademi in the efforts to stabilize the global oil market and restore balance to them. This came during a phone call that was made by the prince with Al-Qademi, in which the two sides stressed the importance of commitment of all member states of OPEC plus agreement, implement the agreement and the agreed compensation mechanisms. The Saudi prince and Iraq prime minister also discussed bilateral relations between the two countries and opportunities for their development. So this is big, but I really do think that Trump's up to something, and that is this. This peace in the Middle East, man, he's already got the UAE, and something tells me that the UAE would not have went first if they didn't already know there were other groups coming behind them. Okay, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but something tells me that the big dogs behind us are definitely Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. So I would love to see Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, as well as Iraq all agree and jump on this peace in the Middle East bandwagon. I think it would mean a lot and go a long ways. Now, whether or not they follow through with it's a different story altogether. So the Secretariat of Ministry announces the suspension of official work hours for next Thursday. Okay, good. Next Thursday, we have some suspended hours. Al-Qademi discussed with the Director General of the International Monetary Fund reducing the size of Iraq's dependence on oil. Okay, so again, there's another article, same thing, but I'll get past this one and we'll get to the other one. The disclosure of the economic understandings that Iraq signed with Americans. So this is the one I was trying to get to because there's a few of them. The source in the General Secretary of Council of Ministries revealed part of the memorandum of understanding signed by Iraq with the United States during a visit. Al-Qademi and the government delegations here in the United States, anyways, blah, blah, blah. The signatures between the Ministry of Finance, Alawi, who signed memorandums of understanding with American Finance and Development Corporations. So here's what they signed. This is what I want to see. He added that the oil ministry signed 3 notes with each of Chevron, Honeywell, and Baker Hughes. Great. The Ministry of Electricity also signed 2 memorandums of understandings with GE and Stellar. Love it. He concluded that the previous memorandums were signed on the sidelines of the meeting between Iraq delegations and major companies, but they are part of what will be signed during the visit. It is likely that Iraq will conclude more memorandums of understanding during the ongoing visit. So this is good. This is what I'm talking about. Allowing outside investors to get in there, start helping Iraq rebuild. Man, I was hoping to see more of these, and I'm also hoping to hear big news from Trump because he will do a meeting. He will make some kind of announcement with Al-Qademi. What I'm hoping is that they have a preliminary or at least a memorandum of understanding on a trade deal signed. This would be a huge announcement. It really would for both countries. All right, so I'm watching for that. But the fact that they're already, and I told you that was my feeling that when they got in there, you would start seeing them sign memorandums of understanding, which is good. Okay, so again, they're there. Foreign Minister Hussein announced that the start of a second round of strategic dialogue between the two countries. So they've already started. I've been watching it all day long. You know, in here you see what's going on. Mike Pompeo said that the meeting was good in the importance between the Secretary of the United States of America and a group issued related to Iraq's situation in general and other issues related to the economic relations. Plus, you've seen that tweet by Stephen Mucci, who is saying, look, he's looking forward to helping stabilize their economy. Oh, that's big news. Okay. But in turn, this Secretary Mike Pompeo said that armed groups still cause many problems in Iraq, expressing his hope that Iraq will be free of corruption. We hope so too. We are committed to helping Iraq prevent foreign interference and improve relationship with our neighbors. And this is what the Iraq people want as well. A prosperous country. So they're moving in the right direction. All right? Peace in the Middle East is one of Trump's major goals. People laughed at him when he said he couldn't do anything with North Korea. You notice we haven't heard anything about any launches lately. The man walked across the DMZ zone with no security. People act like it's no big deal, man. Bullshit. If it was anybody else, people be freaking out. This agreement with the UAE and Israel, big. If it was any other president, they'd be slammed all over People magazine. They'd be kissing his butt, worshiping him, and he'd have had 2 Nobel Peace Prizes by now. But because it's Trump and he's fighting all these idiots who couldn't accomplish nothing that this man has done in his first 4 years, it's amazing. And I look forward to the second term where he will accomplish a lot more. So here's the other article about Al-Kadhimi discussion with the International Monetary Fund that I was trying to get to. So the Prime Minister, Al-Kadhimi, discussed with the Director General of the International Monetary Fund at her house, apparently. So good. They said this: the Prime Minister met with in the residence in Washington at the Director General of the International Monetary Fund. Her name is Kristalina, and the accompanying delegations, indicating that during the meeting the aspects of cooperation between Iraq and the International Monetary Fund. Al-Kadhimi stressed that Iraq is looking forward to working with the International Monetary Fund to achieve economic reform, and that the government is ready to overcome all obstacles facing the work of the International Monetary Fund in Iraq. He also continued to say the delegation that possibly He said the delegation the possibility of concluding an agreement with the International Monetary Fund to support the Iraqi economy and reduce its dependence on oil by rehabilitating other sectors and making them complete with the oil sector in a way that can absorb unemployment in the country. This is big, man. I really like where Al-Kadhimi is going, man. So he seems to be doing all the right things. Okay, so what they should do is find a way to monitor, or transparency is best. That's what we want. The best thing Al-Kadhimi could do is just show where the money is going and that it's being used on the projects that they promised. Because in the past, they'd give them money to do special projects to rebuild Iraq, and the corrupt people would just take the damn money, okay? So, again, that's what we're looking for, is transparency. That would go a long way in giving them a lot of credibility. Okay, so the second round of the talk started. We already know about this. So like I said, there is a ton of information, some of it a little bit repetitive, that's happening. Again, their goal to try to prove that they can earn their sovereignty. Okay, just like they said, their number one focus, look at this, that sovereignty is the main focus of the visit. Okay, you guys, sovereignty. All right. So nonetheless, that's it for now, you guys. Like I said, don't be surprised if you don't start getting 1 to 2 videos. It just a day. It just depends on how much information is coming out. There is a lot of information, but I'm trying to keep you in the loop. Man, it's looking good so far. It's really impressive. You know, I'm looking forward to Trump meeting directly with Al-Kadhimi, and so much getting accomplished. All right, you guys? So let's keep our fingers crossed. They're still there. They're still talking. All is good. So that's it for now. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you later.